in doing some screencasting or recording with QuickTime Player. Well, it's perfect because QuickTime Player is already on your computer. And so for step one, you just got to open it up. So if you don't see QuickTime Player down at the bottom like I see here, the easiest way to do it is to hold the command button and hit your space bar, and it brings up this great spotlight. At this point, I just need to start typing in QuickTime Player comes up, and I double click it from the menu. For some reason, this weird little box pops up. I don't really want to load a video or open a video. I want to make a video, so I'm just going to click cancel. And QuickTime happens to be one of those weird little apps where it doesn't really look like it opened up, but then when I look way over here on the left-hand side, it truly is open. So I'm going to click on File because it gives me three choices of what kind of video I want to record with QuickTime. First of all, I can record a new movie recording. This would be using my webcam to record perhaps myself as I talk through something. So maybe you want to give some instructions to your students and you just want the webcam to record you so that they can see your smiling face. You can communicate a little bit better that way. You would want to choose a new movie recording. Perhaps you don't want them to see them. You're wearing your pajamas or you forgot to brush your teeth, and so you decide you just want to use an audio recording. They can still hear your voice. You can still clearly communicate your expectations and what the task at hand is, but with no video component. Or perhaps you want to record your screen. New screen recording will videotape or record anything that's going on your computer screen at the time. So maybe you want to clearly go through some instructions and kind of point things out to them with your cursor. Maybe you want to give a little mini lesson. You want to pull up some slides and you want to do a little mini lecture where the students can hear your voice and actually see the slides at the same time. And that's going to be my example. So I'm going to choose a new screen recording, and I'm going to go through just a mini lesson. As soon as I choose new screen recording, you can see this black little menu pop up. I can see that I have some audio recording, but this little arrow next to the record button allows me to double check that I have my microphone selected. It's always frustrating to record a video and then realize your audio is turned off. Some of you might have an external microphone at home plugged into your USB port. If that was the case, you'd want to make sure you selected that microphone instead of just your computers. So now that I verified I am able to record, I am going to click this record button. As soon as I do that, I get this little screen. So I'm not actually recording quite yet. As soon as I click the button or click the screen, I'm going to record my entire screen. You could also drag just a part of the screen, or it's just up to your choice. But when you want to get done, you need to click the stop button in the menu bar. So where in the world is that? Well, that's way up top here. It'll get a little darker when I start recording, but this is the stop button way up in my menu bar. So I want to look for that in a little bit when I get done recording. That's going to allow me to stop my recording and then give me a chance to save it. So I decided I'm going to present some of these slides for my lesson 10.1. So I'm going to click on the screen to start my recording, and I'm going to enter into my presentation mode. So here we go. Now I just started my QuickTime Player. I'm going to click present here, and it's going to load my slide deck, and I'm going to get things set up here. It's going to allow me to talk through these slides. It's going to allow me to explain some of this cool classification stuff to my students. And so as I start to go through the slide deck, they're going to see what I see on my computer screen. They're going to hear me. I'm going to go through all these sweet kingdoms and phylums and classes. I'm going to talk about the little panther at the bottom. I'm going to wow them with some analogies about how this is like our solar system and our Earth and the organization of all of this. And as you know, it's one thing for students to be able to see slides. It's another thing for them to be able to hear your voice and give you the opportunity to tell those little extra stories, to explain things in a little bit more detail, to make connections. And this screencasting idea is going to allow you to do just that. So you're going to go through however long you want to go through. We all know that shorter is better with the attention spans these days. But as soon as I'm done with my recording, I need to stop this thing. And so I'm going to move my cursor up to my top of my screen so that my menu bar pops up again. And there's my little record button. All I need to do to stop this is I just need to click this stop button. So here we go. So I just recorded my first video. You can see that we are in QuickTime mode right now. So I'm not actually looking at my desktop right now. I'm looking at my video. And here's my little play option. So I'm just going to show you that hopefully this thing worked. QuickTime Player. I'm going to click present here, and it's going to load my slide deck, and I'm going to get things set up. All right, so there was my video. I can scroll through and kind of see how it all went. So my video is definitely there. By the way, I know it's a little weird because I have this Loom video recorder going. Well, what's essentially happening here is I'm creating a screencast with Loom to explain how to screencast on QuickTime Player. Kind of confusing. If you're interested in Loom, that's a whole nother video. And so with this QuickTime Player, I now have this great video here, but what are we going to do with it? And so, well, what are we going to do with it? We are going to save it. And so to save it, I find the easiest way to save it is I'm just going to X out of it. And so when I X out of it, it will automatically prompt me to make sure I save it. And so I'm going to call it my amazing screencast. And you can choose where you want to save it to. I'm just going to go to my desktop. I'm going to click save here. And I can get a glimpse of my desktop over here, and there it is. It's loading right now. And so I know I have my video. I'm even going to double click on it over here. It pops up, and once again, I can preview it. QuickTime Player. I'm going to click present. So it seems to be working just fine. I'm going to close that thing back down. I'm going to go back over to my internet browser. So this has all been going great. I have a nice video, but how do I get it to my students? The problem with QuickTime Player is it forces you to do one last step because it does not work very well to send these files by email, to try to post a video file on your Google Classroom or your Moodle. It's much, much better to share a link, which means we want to put this thing on the internet. So we've got two choices. One would be to drag it into your Google Drive. That's the easy choice. The other choice, if you're familiar with YouTube, you could easily upload it there as well. So I'm going to show you the idea of bringing it to my Google Drive. So I'm going to open up my drive. There it is. I'm just in my main My Drive screen. You could do this to your shared drive as well. I'm going to scroll down a little bit to get past my folders. And all I'm going to do, just drag it a little bit there. There's my video on my desktop, right? I'm just going to take that video and I'm just going to drag it right down there. And I get a little pop-up telling me that it is uploading it. It's going to take less than a minute. We can see the progress on that wheel. So I'm just going to hang out here a second as it starts to process my video. The final thing that we need to do is to make sure that our video, we have the link and that our link is viewable by our students. In other words, we want to make sure that it's not private. So I could click on my movie right here. I'm going to recommend that you just scroll down a little bit. And there it is under Amazing. I'm going to do a little right click. It's going to give me some options here. So with my options, I could go into this share and select things manually. I could say share only with GR Christian, share with anyone with a link, anyone can view, all these kind of things. A little shortcut to that though is if you just click shareable link, it's going to say, hey, this is currently private. Okay, let's flip the switch. Now it's viewable by anyone at Grand Rapids Christian with the link and view. Now, if you don't like that setting, that's okay. Then just click into more settings and you can select some other options. If you do like that setting, click on it. And now I just copied it. I can go to my Google Classroom. I can go to my Moodle. I can go to my email. I can share that link with whoever I want to. As soon as they click on it, my amazing video pops up. So there's so much you can do with QuickTime Player. You just got to make sure that you get into this viewable form. If you want a version that you don't have to do this last step, check out the video tutorial on Loom screencasting, also posted in our GRCS tech. If you have any questions, I'm sure there's a tech guru around that's willing to help you out. Otherwise, good luck with your screen.